Hello and welcome to My Legit Reviews. Today I've got the Soundbot SB360 wireless car kit for Bluetooth. We're going to take a quick look at how it all works. It's very simple. I've already installed one of these in my wife's car a couple of days ago while we were driving. It was drop dead easy. Plug in the USB, plug in the auxiliary, pair with Bluetooth, and play music. Super simple. Right now these are going for about 16 bucks on Amazon as of December 2015. So we'll open this up, show you the little bits and pieces, and move on with life. Alright, when you pull the Soundbot SB360 out of the box, first time, here's what you're going to see. The main unit, the bits and pieces, which will open up, and the instructions, which I must say were actually really useful for the various functions and features that this thing has. Alright, so this is everything that comes in the box. Quick rundown, these are the exact identical items. This is a lapel clip, we'll cover that later. This is the main unit. The long cords, I'm guessing they're about 2 to 3 feet. The multiple USB device for your cigarette lighter jack, as I guess it used to be called. And an additional sticky thing so you can stick it onto your dash easily. It already has one on the back. Looks like this, but it has an additional one there in case you need it. So here's the power adapter that you plug into your cigarette lighter jack, whatever that thing is. Each of them are different. The top one in this view is 2.1 amps, then the middle is 2 amps, and the bottom is 1 amp. So the various power outputs there, probably a good idea for different types of devices. Pretty simple and straightforward. I think this is metal. It's cool to the touch, but anyway, that is that. Here's the main unit and the 2 lapel clips. I think that's just a bonus. My wife's and mine both came with 2, so I guess if you lose one, you got another one. These are cool. The point of them is that this deal is magnetic, which is really sweet. So once you've got that mounted on your car, you can actually take the whole unit down and move it to a different vehicle or whatever really easily. And so here what the idea is, well, so it magnetizes back on that real quick. But then the idea here is this is a microphone for using the hands-free call feature of this, so that you put this on your clothing someplace, on like your lapel close to your mouth, I guess, and then it sticks on with a magnet while you're talking to somebody for increased call quality. So that's a pretty neat little feature. When it comes time to actually mount this thing in the car, I mentioned earlier you've got this additional sticky thing, one that comes already pre-mounted to the magnetic back. You can see that it's just a donut. It has a kind of empty space in the middle, which I think would facilitate mounting it on a curved surface, which many dashboards are curved, so that's kind of cool. It is that foam squishy stuff, so if you can see this, both pieces are, so that should also facilitate mounting it. I actually did not end up using this piece in my wife's car. This is mine, I haven't mounted it yet. But it actually stuck on really well. I did pre-clean it with some alcohol just to make sure it would stick. But it stuck on the curved surface real snug and seems to be great so far. On the main unit itself here, we already spoke about this being the hands-free calling microphone. It will route calls. It supposedly auto-pauses music, and you can connect the call by using this multifunction button here, which does quite a few different things. One of which, for Siri or Google Now, I guess, if you hold that down or double tap it, I forget, it's in the instructions, it will launch the voice activation of those features, so that's cool. Of course, here you have track forward, track back, and it does all different kinds of things with switching calls, switching from music to call, pausing the music, reconnecting the Bluetooth, all sorts of stuff. It's all in the instructions, but it's actually a really smart device. It's not just kind of dumbly connected, streaming whatever audio comes through. It's interacting with your phone, which is kind of one of the points of Bluetooth. The LED right here, we'll show that lit up later, lights up red or blue and blinks, alternating colors or just blinks depending on what's going on. So real quick before we wrap up, I just wanted to give you a heads up on the cables on this, which is really great. So here's the USB, here's the 3.5 or whatever millimeter you plug into your auxiliary input, and they did include a pre-attached Velcro tie, which is great so that you can bundle all the extra cord up and put it away. So what I wanted to show you real quick is from here, this point, all the way down to the junction where those different cables split off. That's a full 3 feet. I guess you couldn't see, that's a full 3 feet. Then from that junction spot to the end of the USB is another 1 foot, and from that junction spot to the end of the auxiliary cord is another 3 feet. So from the unit itself to the end of the auxiliary is a full 6 feet. So if you really had to stretch somewhere to get this to plug in, you've got a lot of playroom to get that done. So that's pretty cool. Alright, here we go with our Soundbot SB360 installed in the vehicle. It's pretty sweet. It's a pretty close-up view on my dash. We'll back out so you can see how small it seems to be. So, not so bad. Down here is the adapter that came with it, power adapter that came with it. And I'm going to plug it in so you can see how it powers up. Alright, I'm going to power it up. And it makes that tone when it powers up. Now, you may not be able to hear this. I'm going to crank my volume to maximum so you can hear it. That sound has nothing to do with the SB360. So if you get one of these and you hear that, your unit isn't broken. My wife hers does not do this in her car. It is a function of the way my vehicle is wired and with the power being supplied from the cigarette adapter. So there is a product that you can get to mitigate that, and I'll hopefully talk about that in the near future. So this is cool. You pull this off, the thing is really skinny on there, and it just mounts on there by magnetic traction. There it is. Moves around. You can point it wherever you want. Simple. This tiny little hole is the microphone for calls on the fly while you're driving. Works pretty good. And as noted, if you take this off and clip it on the little thing up on your lapel, the person you're calling has much better audio coming from you. That looks pretty good. Forward and back buttons work great. The rest of the features, they're a little bit complicated to remember, so I haven't even gotten those done yet. So unless you're going to invest some time in memorizing how all that stuff works, probably won't work. And it depends on what kind of phone you have. I have a Motorola Droid Turbo, and every phone is different. If you have a Samsung, it's different for the voice commands. So that'll be pretty dependent on your device. And just real quick, something I forgot to mention when I was filming this review is that only the little blue LED light lights up. Everything else has no backlight whatsoever. Which really isn't a big deal, because there's 3 buttons, and if you can't find those just by feel, then I don't know, it's really easy. So that'll do it for this review. I hope you liked it. If you want to get one for yourself, check links in the description, and we'll see you next time.